Welcome to day 8 of our freelancing journey. This is Ayap Sharma and I am student transformation mentor. In this video, we are discussing about freelancing rates and its pricing. So when we think about any kind of a freelancing project, pricing is very important factor. The reason is most of the clients, when they want to give project to any freelancer, then definitely they look at their budget. That means they will have certain budget in their mind to complete that project, and they will look at any kind of freelancer, those who are charging very minimum, and at the same time they don't want to compromise with the quality of the project. So as you are beginners, we need to keep in mind a very important factor, that is pricing of freelancing projects. That is the reason this video is important for you. So related to pricing of freelancing project, we are going to discuss this particular topic in 3 sections. Section number 1, the factors that will influence freelancing pricing. Section number 2, how can you have a fair pricing. Section number 3, how can you go for a negotiation when you are talking about the project completion with the client. Now let's begin our video by understanding section number 1, that is factors that influence freelancing pricing. 5 elements will influence the freelancing pricing of a project. Number 1, your expertise in a particular skill. Number 2, what is the complexity of a project. Number 3, more and more customization from a client for a particular project. Number 4, industry standards. Number 5, what is the location of a client. Now let's understand all these 5 elements one by one. Number 1, that is expertise of a particular skill. When you are deciding about the pricing of a freelancing project, your expertise on a particular skill is very important. That means if you are very much confident about the project and you think that you can complete that project at the high standard, and also you can satisfy the customer and you can complete that project as soon as possible, then you can think it as you are very much expert in that particular skill or a niche. So in this case, you can have high pricing compared to other freelancers who are just beginners. So the second element is complexity of the project. And if you feel that the project is very complex and it takes more time and you need to put more and more efforts and time, then you can charge high when compared to other projects. Element 3, that is more and more customization from the client. Sometimes the projects from the customer will be somewhat different. They will ask for more and more customization. So in this regard, you need to put more and more time and also efforts for a particular project. Then that will create more value to the project and you can charge high for that particular project. Because sometimes you will be ready with the prototype of a particular project, you can deliver that project as early as possible. That will not cost much to the client. But when they are going for more and more customization of a project, then you need to put so many efforts and time, then you can charge high. Element 4, that is industry standards. So there will be certain standard price for any particular project in the industry of freelancing. So how do you know about the industry standards? So you need to look at all other freelancers who are in the same skill, who are in the same niche, and how much they are charging for a particular project, how many days they are taking to complete that project. Based on that, you can think and you can have your own pricing that should not be too high and should not be too less. You can go with a moderate price. And the 5th element, that is location of a client, is also very important, because when you are dealing with the foreign clients, you can go for high pricing. The reason is they are willing to pay high, but they want a project to complete on time, as well as they expect more quality from you. So if you are ready with that, you can charge high for the foreign country clients. But it is not with the Indian clients, because they will have the budget constraint as well as they think about the quality of the project. Now let's move on to the section number 2, that is having the fair pricing. So fair pricing means you should not charge too high as well as you should not charge too low, so that you will have fair pricing for a particular freelancing project. So how can you decide this fair pricing for a particular project? So for this, you need to look at other freelancers, how much they are charging in the market for a particular project within the same skill. Based on that, you should have a fair price, and you can have a package of pricing for a particular project, and you can have different modules from basic to the standard and premium. Based on that, you can have the pricing. But you all have to keep in mind that you are just a beginner in the freelancing journey, and also you are taking entry level projects, so you need to keep your price as minimum as possible when compared to other freelancers. So the moment the project started coming for you, and in future you will have more and more experience, and you will get more projects with so many clients. And certain points you need to keep in mind to have the fair pricing, that is how much time you are investing and how much efforts you are putting, and what is the value that you are adding to the project, and what will be the project complexity, and also how much future support you are giving for a particular project. So by taking all these things consideration, you need to have a fair price. Now let's move on to section number 3, that is the strategies for negotiation. When you are talking with the client through email or message or over call, you need to be very much careful when you are going for negotiations. you should not be very much harsh, or you should not be straightforward when you are going for negotiation, because all the time the clients will like those who are very much humble and polite, and when they are going for negotiations also, there should be certain background solid reason why you are not reducing your price. So to go for better negotiations with the client, you need to keep certain points in mind. That is, you need to have the bottom price line. That means whenever you are going for any project negotiation, you need to think that you should not go below that price, because that requires certain time and efforts, and also you are putting certain resources to complete the project. So you need to have the bottom line. And the second thing, that is, when you are going for negotiation, you need to explain about the value that you are adding to the project, so that the customer will be very much satisfied and they are getting high quality project on time. So by this, the customer will accept your pricing. And also during the negotiation, you should be very much flexible, and also you should be open. And finally, you have to remember that you should have a long-term relationship with the client. With this, I'm signing off for the day. We have discussed very important topics, that is pricing and also negotiations, and what are the factors that will influence pricing of the freelancing project. So please like the video and also comment all your questions, so that I can address those questions in my next video. Subscribe to my channel and share this video to all your friends, so that they will also come in the journey of learning the freelancing within just 30 days.